fucking pigeon just flew into my window, bro. I don't know if that was picked up or not. Hey, it's Lucas, and today we're going to be reviewing the worst medical that I've had yet. Before we get into this video, YouTube hates the name of this strain, so I'm going to be trying not to say it too often. There is no reason for this video to be age restricted. This is 100% legal medication prescribed to me here in the UK by a doctor. So the strain that we're going to be talking about today, if you haven't already guessed it, is Khiron's Hindu Kush. This is a pure indica named after the Hindu Kush mountain range, spanning 500 miles between Pakistan and Afghanistan. 10 grams of this is being sold for £65, and the dominant terpene in this is limonene. Comes in a plain silver bag with the sticker slapped on the front there, and also my prescription label was on the front, but I took it off and put it on the back because I didn't want it being in the video, and I didn't want to stand with my hand over the prescription label the entire video. Now, like everything else that comes in plain silver bags, I was going to give this just a plain middle of the road 5, but the actual details on the on the label there on the front, it's not very clear. I really like the colour. This green that they've got as the background is very, very nice, but unfortunately the white text on that green background makes it very difficult to read, so I would keep splashes of that green accent on there, maybe just on there where it says Khiron 20 to 1 HK, but putting it down there with the smaller writing doesn't work for me. Like, I can read fine, like I can read this, but somebody that struggles with reading might not be able to read it because it's not very clear. So for that reason alone, it's getting a 4 out of 10 for the packaging. Moving on to the looks, if you want to see what this looks like, click the link in the pinned comment, that'll take you to a short. I obviously can't show the nugs in this video because I don't want it to get age restricted. The looks of this get a straight 2 out of 10. This is absolutely atrocious. Now, I've been sold some questionable looking bud on the black market when I first started smoking, but this beats that 100%. Dirt brown, popcorn nugs and dust. As soon as you pick it up, it just crumbles away. Absolutely atrocious. It's getting a 2 out of 10 from me. I feel like I'm being really generous not giving this a 1, but I am going to stick to the 2. The smell of the whole nugs is not pleasant at all. It manages to be lemony and chemically whilst having just a hint of sandalwood. The sandalwood is the only redeeming factor in this. The chemical lemon, I have no idea where that's coming from, but it is not pleasant at all. It actually gives me Miss Kim vibes. I reviewed Miss Kim a few months ago, I can't remember when it was, but that had like a lemony chemical cleaner smell to it that wasn't pleasant. This is similar to that, although they have absolutely nothing in common. I don't know where this is coming from. Maybe it's the limonene, that's the only thing I can think, but it's not a pleasant smell whatsoever. It almost smells like pine disinfectant, but not in a nice way. Like, I don't mind the smell of disinfectant or cleaning fluids or like bleach in general, like I don't mind that, but this, it doesn't smell good. It smells... My brain went pharmaceutical then. I don't know if that makes sense, but it smells medical. Now, I say this in a lot of my videos, but that's not actually what I mean. Like, it doesn't have the... Well, it does a little bit have the medical smell that some weed that comes in tubs, medical weed that comes in tubs has, like a little bit plasticky. This didn't come in a tub, so it has no reason to smell like that, but it smells just weird and chemically, and a hint of lemon and a hint of sandalwood. It's really not for me, so I'm going to give the smell of the whole nugs a 3 out of 10. It could be worse, but I don't like it. When this is ground down, it becomes a lot more pungent. It almost has an element of nose stinginess to it. That hint of sandalwood, or just wood in general, that little bit of pleasantness in there is completely wiped out, and it's just chemical, lemon, weird sort of cloying, I don't know if that's the word. It gets up in your nose and it makes it sting, but it's not pleasant at all, and it's just pure chemical lemon. It's just not good. It's disgusting, if you ask me. It's worse than the whole nugs, so I'm going to lower it down to a 2 out of 10. I choose to medicate with a mighty vaporizer through a water pipe, and I would usually have 2 to 3 capsules before bedtime. I've been finding myself needing more, but I also find it very difficult to vape more than 3 capsules in a row. By the time I'm halfway through the 3rd one, I'm usually coughing up a lung, and it's very, very unpleasant. But I haven't been feeling medicated enough, so I've been almost having to force myself to vape more, even though it makes me cough, and it's very, very unpleasant to get the desired effects. It's been almost a struggle between wanting to stop vaping this because it's just not a pleasant experience, it's making me cough, it doesn't taste good, and nothing's happening, but also wanting to carry on to achieve desired effects. So it's been a bit of a struggle to actually vape this. I would usually start out at around 160 to get some good flavorful hits, but this has been honestly so bad that I've just been whacking it straight in at 210 and just going from there. At 160, I've found that the first 3 pulls give a really nice sandalwoody flavour, or just an earthy, woodsy flavour with a little bit of spice in there, but it's very pleasant. And then after those 3 pulls, there is nothing. But at 160, there is also absolutely no vapor. So whilst you're getting a little bit of a pleasant taste, you're getting no vapor. And then as soon as you up it, anything over 170, the sandalwoody flavor is completely eradicated and it's replaced by that chemically lemon taste. The chemical lemon taste it's not super unpleasant, like just lemon flavors in general are okay. Like I tend to enjoy lemon flavors. Chemical flavors are not my favorite, so that by itself is fine, but even then it's gone after like 3 pulls and it's just burnt popcorn taste. So the taste for me, I'm gonna have to give it a 3. The sandalwood flavor, if that was more prominent and was there throughout the entirety of the vaping session, then that would give it probably somewhere between a 7 and an 8, but that chemical lemon is just, it's not for me. And just the fact that there's hardly any flavor, it doesn't last very long at all. The entirety of the rest of the session, you're just getting that vaped popcorn bud type flavor. That just means it's going to get a 3 out of 10 for the flavor. Now, finally, the effects for me are pretty much non-existent. I find this very, very similar to the Pink Kush, where I said the Pure Sun Farms Pink Kush I found that it didn't really affect me. Like in the video that I made, people were saying that I looked really fucking medicated, but I swear blind to this day, I didn't feel anything from it. I feel right now with the Hindu Kush slightly heavier. This is off 1 bowl. A little bit slightly heavier. There's a slight change to my vision, but it's not the usual immediate switch to HD that it is after 1 bowl. It's just different in a way that I can't really describe right now. It's not quite HD. If anything, I would say it's a little bit more brighter, but also a little bit fuzzier. I'm also not wearing my glasses, so I know that doesn't help. But yeah, there's there is no head high for me. I'm not feeling anything in the head apart from a slight heaviness, maybe like in the back of my head where my neck meets my head. There's a slight heaviness, and also in my heels there's a heaviness as well. I find these effects to be very, very subtle. For the daytime, I don't really feel anything like, I don't feel any different. If anything, I just feel a little bit heavier, which is not what I want for the daytime. And then on a nighttime, for the evening time, again, this is not what I want. I don't really feel anything apart from a little bit heavier. So during the evening time, it's really not for me, unless I have this right before I go to bed. So I probably do this the wrong way around, and this might sound a little bit gross to some people, but what I tend to do is I'll go brush my teeth and do my nighttime routine and stuff, and then I will take my bong to my back door and I will have a couple of bowls, and then I will just come in and, well, actually I don't know, because sometimes I'll stretch before and then sometimes I'll stretch after. Stretching after feels really, really good. If you haven't tried this, go have your medication and then do some stretches, like some yoga or whatever. Feels really, really good. Lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Yeah, so I need to have it immediately before I lay down, or else I don't really feel it. It's very, very, very mild, and I feel like I need to consume a lot more of it than other strains to feel like it's having an effect on me. If I'm talking about what I use cannabis for, then this is not really meeting those needs. In the daytime, I use it to get me up and going, motivated to do things, but also at the same time, I use it to dampen my anxiety. Obviously, you know this by now, or if this is your first video, then I medicate for anxiety, depression, and insomnia. So I need a daytime strain to uplift me without making me racy and anxious. And I also need something to quiet the voices in my head. That makes me sound schizophrenic. I'm not. But like, you know, the babbling, constant 100-mile-an-hour thoughts. I need something to quiet those down whilst also giving me motivation. And that's not easy to find, because a lot of daytime strains, people recommend sativas, and sativas give me, well, not all of them, but a lot of them give me anxiety. I found out recently there's a terpene, I think it's, no, I don't think it's humulene. It might be humulene, actually. I'm going to look it up. It might have been terpinolene or something like that, but I can't remember which one it was. that is one that I've been avoiding. I can't remember what I was talking about. I feel the effects have hit me a little bit more now, but generally just feel a little bit heavier and a little bit slower, and that's it. I have found that this does make me sleep through the night, which I've had a problem with recently, and it makes me slur my tits off for some reason. That's another thing. I can't remember where I was, but I will say this has made me sleep through the night. 2 bowls on a night time, lay down. I don't feel any sort of like tingles or anything like that. I really like, and I don't know if anybody else feels the same way as me, I've found generally that a lot of people don't like to smoke right before they lay down, but I do. I like the tingly sort of floaty feeling. I don't like the falling feeling, but the tingly floating is really nice to just lay there and listen to a podcast and fall asleep. But this doesn't really have that. You just sort of feel a bit heavy and then you're out. Like it's sort of like anesthesia in a way. Yeah, you're just kind of there and then you're not. So I've found that this is good for sleep, but I just feel like it's lacking something. I need a little bit more oomph. I need a little bit more head high, maybe a little bit more going on in the body. It's just lacking. I won't get it again. There are other strains that I've found that are good for sleep, so I would probably choose those over this one. Maybe I would like to try a nice version of this, because this is definitely probably the worst version of Hindu Kush out there. I've not tried Hindu Kush before, but this is not good. Like, you can tell good weed from bad weed, and this is really trash weed. I keep losing my train of thought, so I'm gonna sum it up. Looks, 2, absolutely terrible. Smell, overall, I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't really like it. It's like a weird, pungent, tangy sort of lemony. It's not nice. Like, I don't like it. It smells like medical in a way that I don't mean as, or maybe I do. Like, I haven't really used the term smelling medical for a long time, but it does. It just has like a pharmacy smell to it. If you walk into a chemist, it has like a chemist smell. I can't explain that either, but you know what I mean if you've ever been in a chemist, which I'm sure you all have at some point. It has a smell to it, which is just like clean and medical and like chemical, and it's just weird, and that's what the bud sort of smells like, and it's off-putting. So the smell, I can't remember what I gave it, but I'm also going to give that a 2 because it's just not pleasant. The taste is going to get a 3 overall. Again, there was barely any taste. The sandalwood or just woody taste that I got was nice, and it's a shame that that wasn't carried through, because if I could find a strain that tasted like that, that'd be great. Tastes really good, but there was no vapor, which was weird. Like, the sandalwood flavor was at 160, but no vapor was produced, and then as soon as I didn't go up to 165 and then 170, I just went straight up to 170 and then 175 upwards. 170, it was just that straight chemical lemon, so the sandalwood flavour was lower than 170. Over that, it wasn't. Even if you just started it straight out at, say, 175, it would be straight chemical lemon. You really need to go low to get that flavour, but there's no vapour, so there's like hardly any point. I don't know if this might sound stupid, but I've actually never really thought about this in terms of vaping. If there's no vapor, but you're still getting plenty of flavour, is there any benefit? Because you're still breathing in the air that's got the terpenes in it, because you can taste it, but there's no vapor going into your lungs, or no visible vapor going into your lungs. So do you get any sort of medicated effect from that? I don't know if that's a stupid question. It's just a genuine question. If anybody knows the answer, leave me a comment. If I just looked like frightened or weird or anything, it's because I thought I could see the outline of a spider over there on the skirting board, but it's like the lid off of something, and I just shat pant a little bit. It's coming up to spider season, and I fucking know it, because there've been like 4 or 5 in my house in the past few days, and I'm not about it. I'm not here for it. Overall rating, I can't remember where I got to. I got to taste, so Taste, I want to give it a 3. I'm going to be generous on that one. But again, it comes back to the, are you getting any medical benefits? I was going to say, are you getting any medication or medicated benefits, but I guess I am pretty baked. I guess I am. But even so, it just feels lacking. I feel like I need a little bit of head high to go along with this feeling, because now that it's fully setting in, it's not bad, but it's just not to my preference. Like, it doesn't suit my needs. So the overall quality is just absolutely trash, but the medical benefits are not too bad, but they're just not, there's not enough oomph behind it for me. So if you're looking for something light, then this might work for you. If you want something that is sedating and calming, but my head still feels clear, like I said, like there's almost nothing different in my head, and that's what I really need to go along with this feeling, because I can still think all the negative thoughts that are swimming in my head. And if I have a strain like this that has got me feeling heavy and I'm couch locked or glued to the couch or whatever you want to say, but my mind's also not occupied and all the depressive thoughts and the anxiety is still running rapid, I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna think and I'm gonna spiral, and that's why I also need a head element to it. So if that makes sense to you, great. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Overall, I'm gonna give Hindu Kush a 3. Now, I was gonna say 4 because the medical benefits could suit me if I wanted something light, but I don't. So I don't think the medicinal side of it is too bad. It's fine. It's just average. I would give that probably just a 5. It's just everything that goes along with it is so poor that I can't give it the 5 that I want to give it. I've got to give it a 3. I kind of want to give it a 2, but I'm going to be, purely for the medicinal benefit, I'm going to give it the 3, but everything else is just straight up trash. So Hindu Kush, Khiron Hindu Kush is going to get a 3 out of 10 from me. If you like this video, leave a like. It was mostly just pure waffle, but most of my videos are. Leave me a comment if you have tried the Khiron Hindu Kush or you know the answers to any of my questions. What should I try next? Subscribe for more videos. Peace.